Hello and welcome. Welcome to this live. My name is Heather Aguilera. This is Angel of Divine Love. And I am coming live to talk about my new upcoming series, which is called the Moon and Womb series. So it's basically the connection to the moon and the womb space. It's it's an ancestral teaching. It's a teaching that I have gained through my path, through my walk. And I want to just kind of share how I came about learning the techniques that I'm going to share in this series, and also answer any questions of you guys if you guys have any questions about this, the connection to the womb. Hi, thank you for joining, to the moon and to the womb space, and all of those are energy centers. So just thank you so much for joining, and yeah, let's begin. So as you can see here, like in this picture, there's a rose, and then behind it there's a geometric shape. That is called the Venus flower. And then in below the full moon is a heart, right? And then we have the series of the moon phases. So as women, and this recording is catered more to the feminine than the masculine. So sorry guys. Good evening. But anyways, the moon phases. And this can go for men as well. We all go through phases, just like the phases of the moon, cycles within cycles. And like all the phases of the moon, there is a waning, there's a waxing, there's a fullness, there's a darkness, there's a depth, there's a time to go inside, a time to cleanse, a time to purify, a time to acknowledge all the seasons that we experience as the feminine throughout the month. We're shedding the old, we're releasing, we're also ovulating, which is a good time to plant seeds and a good time to kind of sit with your creative process, right? So as we get in more of a rhythmic tone, a rhythmic tone, and we're connected to the cycles, we're connected to the elements, we're connected to our bodies, we're listening to our bodies more. As this happens, things start to unlock, to heal, to process, right? So the connection with the moon and the womb space, and also the heart and the womb space, there's a connection that has to happen between the heart and the womb. There is, as we listen to this process and as we're guided each month, we're able to go deeper within your gifts, deeper within the woman intuition, the womb and intuition within the womb space, how it communicates to you, what frequency you're admitting as a woman, what are you repelling as a woman, how to be like this more like magnetic and a little open, how to carry yourself as you are bleeding. Also, during our menstrual time, our process, as our aura gets bigger during that time. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Good evening. So your aura expands. Your aura is much larger than it normally is. And you have the capacity to step into a very sovereign, clean connection to Creator, to God, whatever, to Source, whatever name you use. And during that time, our prayers can be very, very strong. So there's different teachings of indigenous teachings as well. And before I go into that, I want to share how I came about the moon and the womb, like how I started to learn and how it got passed down to me. So first, I was very curious when I started sitting in ceremonies like Thomas Skull and medicine ceremonies. that every time I would have a bleed, or they would talk about if you were bleeding, you had to let the teacher, the advisor know that you were on your moon. And it would create, the women had the ability to kind of navigate, if you will, because we're a little stronger, our energy is a little stronger at that time, to kind of navigate the prayer and to navigate that force. And as time grew on, and I started sitting more in ceremony, medicine ceremonies, Temescal ceremonies, and I started understanding what was happening and within myself. And it was almost like I was getting a training within itself through ceremony and being taught what it is and how to purify the womb space. So when I would sit in ceremony, that it would be clean. So say for instance, if you have a lot of trauma in your womb space, if you've had a lot of lovers that haven't treated you right, and you're carrying that within, there could be a lot of anger to process there. So there's a purification process that happens in stepping into womb clearing and being centered in the womb space. So, being aware of all that, I started just navigating and searching. I started searching for meditations, and then I started creating my own meditations that were very extremely helpful, not just for me, but for others. And then I got linked up to Tantra. It's called Elemental Tantra. And I went through this course where we navigated the elements, the whole thing is to connect to the womb and the heart space, and then work with elements, which I love. I absolutely love working with the elements. And so that was about I want to say an 8-week course that I took, or training that I took, on elemental tantra practitioner thing that I still teach and I carry within my own medicine bag, if you will. And then after that, I noticed the ceremonies would be stronger and more cleaner, and it started just to clean up everything. And the more I would work with my womb space and my heart connectivity and the rhythmatic sequences that was happening within my body, the more stronger my prayers started to be, the stronger my aura started to get, and the more I started to understand the subtleties within my own cycling. I then came across this woman. Her name is Mary Lou. She's a medicine woman. You could find her on Instagram. And she was giving a course in Santa Cruz. It was a 4-week course, and it was about the moon and the archetypes of the woman. And so I took that, and it was a really nice addition to what I already knew. And we did a lot of navigating, a lot of journeying, and a little deeper within the womb space. And we correlated the goddess archetype to each phase of the moon. That was her teaching. And in that teaching, I learned the significance of aging. That's what stood out for me. One of the things that stood out for me the most is, at every phase of the moon is a different age grade, if you will. So we start at if we're gonna start, say, at the full moon, we just came out of the full moon right now. So let's start at the full moon. The full moon represents the mother. She's full, she's pregnant, she's about to give birth, right? And then coming out of the full moon into that quarter moon, she's starting to age. So this is from, like, let's say 30, 40, 50-year-olds right there. She's starting to age. She's starting to get into the wise woman age. And this part is not really talked about in society. This part is like really left out in society, that we dampen the aging process of the woman. And we don't see it. I mean, society and social media puts, like, let's put injections in our skin so we can look much better, and not gain that, and not acknowledge that process, that natural process that happens within all of us. And so I found that to be one of the most significant things in her particular teachings. And I carry that with me, and many among other things, and then among the things that I've learned along the way, and sitting in ceremony, and how strong my prayers are, and how clean my prayers are, and how clean my energy is. And yes, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of practice in this. So this course, this series that I've created, and I'm going to share in the next 4 weeks, and I'll come online for those of you who aren't too sure, and I want to make sure you all know that no one will be turned away for lack of funds. There will have to be an energy exchange. So, but if you can't afford the full price, please let me know if this is something that you would or really feel called to. I'm very generous, so I want to let you know that you don't have to shy away from it. You can approach me in a respectful manner, and I will help you out. So, anyways, as I was navigating through the teachings, and also receiving the blessings through, because it's a lineage thing, right? And I'm going to talk about what lineage is in a little bit as well. So, as I was navigating through these teachings and receiving the blessings from the ancestors who keep the teachings, that's called a lineage. A lineage is any type of teaching that is brought down to you from the wisdom of the ancient ones, from the wisdom of the ancestors. And a lot of these teachings have been lost. A lot of these teachings they're available to us. We know them somewhat, on some level. It's like, well, I know I need to be more in tune with my body, or make peace with my menstrual cycle somehow, or man, I get a lot of cramps, or this happens, or maybe a lover is still in your energy field and you don't know how to release that lover out. All of these are very important as women, for us to understand how to navigate that. And this is all teachings of the womb. It's also the teachings of the Magdalene. I was so into the Magdalene. I still am. I still have such a love for the Magdalene. The Magdalene taught a lot about the Venus energies and our connection to the womb and to our blood, and how to purify the body and to amplify the body with grace, right? So you're able to magnetize the masculine and work together in tandem with the masculine. And so this is a whole, these are the lost teachings of the Magdalene, also the ancestral teachings that come down from the lineage. The teachings that came down from the elemental tantra that I had received was just a healing also with your sacred sexuality. And we do know within, the history of the divine feminine, that the Magdalene was about this, that Isis was about this, the purification process of the sacred sexuality. And it's not to distort the sexuality, which has been and still is today. There's a distortion, there's a disruption in it. There's even reversals in a lot of sexuality that happen if we look into the field a little deeper. So we're gaining the wisdom back. We're gaining that magnetism back within our womb space, and learning how to navigate this. And it is a very intuitive process. It is also a very natural process. You could learn it on your own or read about it, but the things that I'm going to share with you, it hasn't just came from me from a lineage, two lineages actually, but it's also came from me from actual tangible practices that I've practiced and had to master to sit with in ceremony, and really having to be aware of how delicate the process is as a woman to bleed and be in ceremony. And what does that mean? Are you able to hold ceremony, in a very sacred way, as you are, in your amplified body while you're bleeding? Thank you guys. And so this is all very important. You know, you could feel the sacredness in it, and you could feel my passion for this as well. You know, and if this resonates with you, you know, contact me. Like I said, no one will be turned away for lack of funds, but there will have to be some sort of energy exchange. And you know, if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. And I'm gonna share my I'm gonna share my experience a little more too. So I do, like I said, I sit in ceremony. I sit in ceremony pretty often. I am a very, I'm devoted to my path in that way. And hold on, I have my dog came in here. No, 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 no. Go, 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 go. Okay. So yeah, I am very dedicated into my path in this way, and ceremony is a huge part. It's a huge part of my training, my devotion, my learning, as well as I am guided and taught in a very sacred lineage, and the lineage that I'm taught in has taught me through test, and it's through actually bleeding through ceremony, which isn't always pleasant, to how to hold it, and how to navigate meditation, how to navigate higher frequency energies and distortions while releasing, right, while purifying. Yeah. So, yeah, good point. So you ovulate with the new moon and bleed with the full moon since 40th, your 40th in June. Yeah, that's really, that's something that's really great. So ancestral teaching, in the traditional ancestral teaching, it is most desirable for a woman to bleed actually on the new moon, because of the new moon is a time for internal, to go inward. But as women, we will cycle with the cycle. Sometimes you'll bleed new moon, sometimes you'll bleed full moon, sometimes you'll bleed anywhere in between as you move through the cycles, right? So it just depends on how that is. When I received the teachings, actually, in what was it? I believe it was 2018 or 2019, of this particular lineage through Mary Lou. Their teachings were the new moon, and I started bleeding every new moon since, and that was for a whole year. I bled on every new moon, which is really rare, because usually we shift a couple days to a couple days. You know, ladies, if you're listening, how that is, especially if you're in tune with the moon, you'll see and notice that rhythm. But I bled every new moon, and to me, that was a sort of initiation into the teachings, and initiation into the wisdom of the keeper of the menstrual, the blood, the wisdom of the blood. One of the teachings that I have found fascinating, as I've done my own research, and anyone that works with me, I always tell them to add on to theirs, is that whatever I had went through that month, and whatever I had healed, say I cleared a bunch of lower energies, and I cleared things out of my field, and I I did really well, and I I did my thing. That medicine, and whatever I went through, whatever I cleared, whatever I faced, whatever medicine that I gained, whatever wisdom I gained, that was in my blood. And it's not to throw away that blood. It's to collect the blood, and to, thank you, it's to collect that and to offer it, to give it to the land, to give it to the trees, to give it to a water source, a nice size water source, not a tiny. If you don't have a good size water source, don't put it in just a tiny stream. You don't want that. But you want a nice size water source to give it to. So yeah, and we want to be able to be in tune with that. And that's that rhythm that I'm talking about, you know, and to being able to give the blessing, and to understand that whatever you go through in that month, it is in that womb, it is in your bleed. So say you broke up with somebody, right? Say you broke up with somebody, or you had this relationship, a relationship that, you know, you were walking away from, and the wisdom of that is in your blood. You want to give it to the earth, because why? Those codes are in there for others to also receive. That's just the way I see it. That's the download that I received from it. And maybe, you know, may or may not resonate for you, but for me, that's how I see it and what I've gained from that. So yeah, I really enjoy these teachings, and I'll go into more depth within this series. You know, if you guys would like to be part of that, you know, just email me. I have all my stuff there. All my links are there. And, you know, whoever wants to go into deeper conversation, you could book an appointment with me or leave a question below. Yeah, I'm doing really good. I just got back into town, and yeah, I've been traveling for a while. So yeah, good. Yeah, so I'm starting this series on Monday, and the series will start, I mean, we'll be at, by Monday we'll be at a quarter moon, and we'll start there. And then we also will go through different teachings and dialogues of the archetypes. Like I said, the main thing with the archetype with me that stood out the most is the aging process and how important that is. There's the maiden, which is the young one when she first, you know, comes into herself, the maiden, and how we embody, you know, all of these archetypes at different times of our lives, but also throughout the months, you know, in our lives. As women, it's important for us to understand the cycles of our creation process, how we need to rest sometimes, and how we need to just, you know, even be social, you know, and sometimes we don't want to be social, and that's okay, because we're, as like the moon goes into phases, we go into the phases as well. And as women, we haven't really been taught how to do that and how to gain that, you know, the different archetypes that we navigate through. You know, it's the maiden, the young one, the mother, you know, and then the wise one, and then the crone, the elder, where the crone is the great wise woman, the grandmother spirit, you know, who has been through it all, and she knows, and she carries herself very well. And you know, the different process that we go through, just like the moon, there's such a deep teachings in this, and the process of what Magdalene had also delivered and experienced through the Kundalini rising. There's different techniques that I will share, exercises that I will share, massagings that I will share that really assist in this whole process of gaining the capacity to clear your own womb, to get in tune with your own womb, and to trust yourself through a creation process. So yeah, it's a really sacred teaching, and I absolutely adore it. And everyone that I've taught thus far, has loved all my teachings. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that I can share this. And yeah, so if you would like to be part of this, let me know. If you are in California, I will be doing an in-person teaching of this in October, starting in October. But this particular teaching is going to be online, and it starts on Monday. So either way, either online or in person, both is welcome. You'll also be taught how to set up an altar. You'll be taught how to balance while working with elements. It's not really like a belief system or like a religious type of thing. So I don't want to, put an archetype of or a god in the name of it. It's just this is just very it's a process of learning how to navigate within your energy field. So it's not a religion, it's not new age. It is ancestral. It is through a lineage, though. It is very respected, and it is very healing. So if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, I thank you. Thank you all. And right now I have 13 people and 13 likes, well, from what I can see. And 13 is the number of the goddess. Oh, thank you, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, 13 is the number of the goddess. So, and these signed up. Good job. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I will. Whoever signs up, you will get a link to the Zoom. As soon as I get a chance, I will send that to you. Yeah. How to do, you've been getting a lot of signs, learn how to do that, but I don't know how to make one. How to make what? I'm not sure about that one. You're welcome. Yeah, so the link, you guys, if you're looking for the link, you guys, it's in the community section, and you could just go to the link and it'll lead you right there. You could purchase it. Like I said, if you have any problems like financially, just let me know, because it's a sliding scale for those that need a little assistance. Oh, an altar. An altar. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. We'll go over it. It's super easy. Yeah. And it's for me, it's important to work with just, it's very simple. Working with elements, it's very simple. It's not a religion. It's not a religion. It's not a like a belief system. It's just tuning into basic elements. And I don't think it goes against anyone's religious beliefs. Honestly, I don't. But, and I honor everyone's beliefs. I don't try to convince anybody or anything like that. Yes, I do get that a lot. Thank you. I'm glad it's helped you, Griffin. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you so much, you guys. Yeah, a lot of people don't have a lot of understanding about a lot of things. There's been a lot of, yeah, thank you, you guys. I really appreciate that. I put a lot of hard work and dedication into all of my stuff that I do. And I'm glad you can feel it, and it's been good for you. I wish for all of you guys to be on your true destiny path, your true calling, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. I started this channel. Angel of Divine Love. I believe it was, I don't know, 7 years ago. And yeah, it's just grown from there. I used to do cards, and then I was like, I don't want to do cards. I just want to help people. And I didn't really care about a big following. I just wanted to help the right people. So I just started doing what I was naturally guided to do. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, you guys. Yeah, I work really hard. Oh, That's good. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Hmm. Good. Yeah, I'm glad it's helping so many. I'm glad it's helping so many. Thank you. I just came from the beach, so yeah, I have like beachy vibes. I've been all over actually. I've been traveling for a while, so I'll be home for a little bit and traveling again. So yeah, you guys get my teachings when you have the chance. So I do too. Yeah. So I'm in California, so I'm really lucky that the beach is not too far away from me. Yeah. Great. Yeah, so the moon and the moon and the womb teaching is really great. And if you guys have any other questions about me, um, feel free to ask. I have a few more minutes. New Zealand, wow, so nice. I've never been. Yeah, I know, Griffin. Thank you. It's part of my path. And I'm just doing what God created me to do. And, I want all of you guys to do the same. We all have very magnificent and amazing codes and healing abilities and capacity of intelligence to know how to navigate this time. I'm here, I guess, because I was meant to be one of the first ones. There's many before me though too, but yeah, just continuing to do my destiny, and yeah, yeah. Hmm. Oh, you're in LA. Nice. What part of LA? Habitual cycles and habits. Griffin, there is this really cool, it's a Kundalini yoga technology. It's a really nice meditation to break addictions. And maybe you could find it. You could look it up online, Kundalini addiction meditation. So what you do is you put your thumb, you curl your fingers and all four of your fingers in like a fist, right? And you leave your thumbs out. And you put your thumbs on your temple. And you sit at an upright, like a yogic position, upright and yogi style. And you breathe. And then you squeeze the back molars. And you try to do this meditation for 3 minutes. You can listen to your favorite recording or mantra while you do it. The yogic tradition, Kundalini yogic tradition, teaches that you do it satanama, while you squeeze your back molars, and you press the temples with your thumbs, and then your fists are curled in. So your fingers are curled in, almost like a fist, kind of just curled in. Not all the way, but just kind of curled in, touching the pads. And then your thumbs on your temples and squeezing the back molars, breathing in, satanama, squeezing, and then breathing out, satanama. That's an addiction meditation that it does something with the neurotransmitters, and it also does something with your I can't think of it right now. It does something with the brain, and it helps to rewire that. You do that enough, you're gonna break addictions really nicely. Oh god. I probably don't even remember making that one, but yeah. Yeah, so Kundalini has a great science technology for breaking addictions. It's really, really great. Also, I think I did make I made one for, I think, overeating, a light language video for overeating, but I don't have one specifically for addictions. But yeah, the Kundalini yoga technology, that one that I specific one that I mentioned, that one's great for releasing addictions. And it's like addictions that you didn't know you had, right? So it's like, for instance, I'm gonna explain how it helped me. Yeah. How it helped me is it helped me with my relationship with my father. And I noticed that I had an addiction with my father in where I would start to like pick little petty fights with him, right? Just nothing big, just little like irritating quarrels with my dad, and things I wish that wouldn't happen. And when I started to do that, it didn't. It over time, it took some time for it to show, but now it's like we get along so great, and we're no longer fighting. We're no longer really bickering like that. It's like so smooth, and the energy is so nice between us. I was literally addicted to the feeling that whatever I was causing between him and I, the friction, I was addicted to that. You know, it was like this trauma addiction almost. And when I started doing that technology, particular technology, it healed. It did something to my brain. It healed. It did something to him and I, our relationship, and just really dissipated. So I do believe in it. I do believe that it really works. So yeah. And I've tried, I'm one of those people that have tried many things. And I have like a lot of, I like to learn a lot of things. I like to learn a lot. I love consciousness, and I've had like major awakenings, and I've had the most beautiful, amazing experiences and connections within samadhi and other realms, stuff like that. I have many stories like that, but like the practical scientific technologies that the human aspects of us hang on to, I'm really interested in that part of consciousness, because that's where the most needed, it's most necessary at this time for us to navigate that with intelligence. The practical technologies that we know that work, you know. So light language works, Kundalini works, working with medicine works, sitting in ceremony works. All this works for me, personally. You know, and you have to find what's right for you. Yeah, addictions can seep into relationships. Exactly. And Griffin, it's like a, you know, it's the essence of things. Like, oh, I'm addicted to this frequency. I'm going to learn how to create this between me and a person. You know, it's just it's the human aspect. And we're navigating through that. All right. So, any advice on properly grounding oneself? Just eat. Eat food. Go walking outside, just normal. Go by a tree, you know. Um, eat, eat, eat good food. Good food. Eat good food, and really taste your food and enjoy your food. That grounds me. It's very simple. I'm truly about simple spirituality. The more simple, the better. And then from there, you know, you find your path. If you're meant to be part of a lineage, if part of your destiny path is to be part of a specific lineage, you will be part of that lineage. If part of your destiny path is to, you know, create your own thing, then you're going to do that too. So this is why we have to honor everyone's path and their decisions, and not be in a place of judgment, to be open and compassionate and understanding that whatever they're going through, whatever they're learning, whatever they have chosen within their path and Creator has chosen for them, that we allow space for that and we honor it, because it's important. It's important for the earth. It's important to raise the vibration. And what that is, very healing, you know. So yeah. Um, so thank you guys. Yeah, again, I'm gonna go navigate back to the moon and the womb because we got a little off subject, but not too much. Um, the moon and the womb space is, mainly for women. It's a group for women, and I will come back and create something for men and women. I think it's important to have that as well. But for right now, it's for women. It's to honor the sacredness within the womb space and how we navigate through that, and how it's really important, how it's grown and helped me to heal. Um, yeah, so the more you understand about your womb space, as a woman, the more you understand the connection within the heart and the power you have as a magnetic woman, and what phase of the moon that you're in. Where is that mapping at? Where is that guide for you at? The more you're going to understand your relationships a little bit better, and the more you understand yourself better, and you'll heal. You know, we all carry, men and women, we all carry a frequency, bandwidth. We all carry some sort of current, sound current. If you think of like animals, while I was at the ocean, we were watching the whales and the dolphins, right? And the whales and dolphins have what? They have like a really beautiful and complex sonar system. So they are able to communicate with each other through sound and vibration through the ocean. And so do birds and trees, and so do us as humans. And we have technology that has semi blocked it, but the more sensitive we're getting, I believe technology is helping us to understand that communication more. You could feel a person's vibe through their text message. You could feel a person's vibe through, um, what energy you're sending them and they're sending to you. You may get a little distorted, especially if you've been through a lot of trauma or they've been through a lot of trauma. It can get a little distorted, but you got to learn how to clean it up. So yeah, and cleaning that up, it helps in so many ways, so many ways. So we want a clean womb space, ladies, a clean womb space to welcome your man, or to assist your man in, to bring that in to that space, or to just keep it clean and contained for yourself for a while, and that's okay too. So yeah, we're gonna go over a lot of things, lots of things in the womb space. So I hope you will join. The link is in the community section on the show. I think, yeah, read more, one of those links in the community section of my page. So I am getting sleepy. I drove a couple hours to get home, so I am going to call it a night, you guys. Thank you so much, and have a blessed night, evening. I hope the equinox treated you really well. Yeah, dreams of dolphins. That's great. Dolphins is about play. Yeah. Ringing is, yeah, just listen to the ringing. I like to listen to it and see what it does. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy, so I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much. Good night.